What's going on, Capricorn? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. I really like saying Capricorn. It's Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. You and Taurus, I always enjoy your introductions. For those of you who are returning, ooh, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I'm really excited to see you, Cap. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes and shares, and I got reason to have all this big energy for your support. Let me get back on track. Your support really is just amazing there, Cap, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, brace yourself. I'm kidding. Welcome. I'm happy RSF has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey because it's General Energy Weekly Spread. Yeah, something like that, Cap. And I'll tell you why all the big energy, depending on when you're watching this, it's my birthday today. So of course I'm gonna have all this big energy. It's gonna be So Capricorn, when you get to this weekly video, there may be some messages in here for you. And for those of you, and just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you. Leave all the birthday shenanigans with me. Take like one with you. And never force a reading on the situations, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Capricorn, your space has been cleansed. Nope, I'm just gonna keep the energy going. Crystals. Feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cap. So I'm gonna pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we're going to get some details with the tarot. Before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? Thank you. And just in case y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also in the description box are some other readers that I like watching, Capricorn, so definitely give them a check out. Very intuitive group, give you a kind of a different vibe in case my energy gets a little over the top. Sometimes you can go maybe check into something a little more chill. I totally understand. Let's get to your first card here. Nice, speaking of Taurus, you got the 9th card of Taurus here, which is the Still card. And with this card, this is a card of refinement, taste, culture, style, fine-tune, concentrate. Interesting. Develops over time, purify, filter, draw out, infusion, spirits, alcohol, perfume, reduction, and cultivation. Alright, well, I want to start here, Capricorn, because this is the strongest energy that really kind of came through there was the concentrate. And this feels like that maybe for some this is going to be a time of focus. We're in this state of where, with the sun and like Mercury, and Mercury's actually going to get ready to move out of Cancer here in a little bit. But, with the sun still maybe forming some oppositions with your Capricorn placements, you might have been feeling that it might have been hard to kind of concentrate. Maybe there have been like different situations or people that are kind of presenting you like, I don't want to say problems, but just like maybe just a lot of things that are taking you away from your focus, where it's just like it feels like maybe it's getting like a little harder and harder to kind of keep that drive when there's like maybe so many other things to kind of deal with on the sidelines. This could be, for example, maybe we're trying to go back to school, but then we also have a family that we got to take care of, and then we have a job that we're doing, and it's like balancing all of this stuff. There's no real energy for you to really, it feels like that maybe we're not getting the proper development or something along those lines. It's like it's getting that, it seems like maybe it's just taking longer than maybe we want to, Capricorn. But the interesting thing about your sign, I've mentioned this often with you, is that with you being Saturn ruled, Saturn is one that where you will get achievements, don't get me wrong, but it is a kind of a slow burn. Saturn deals with, one aspect he deals with is time, and the fact that you're being Saturn ruled, you're being essentially gifted time to really develop your skills. So if there's something where maybe if we feel like we're juggling too much, maybe it's just like maybe just redirecting some things a little bit. It's not even like abandoning stuff. Maybe we go either part-time in a job or maybe do part-time in the schooling, and sure, it may take a long time, but I feel like that, and this just, I think that it would maybe benefit more for it to almost like in a sense like kind of instead of like kind of like have this hyper month, like focus month of just like real intense stuff before we get to a break. It seems like just kind of like balancing things out a little more, doing like a work smart, play smart type of thing. Because I find that when we do go on a break, that maybe there for some, maybe we tend to go like overindulge a little bit. And this doesn't necessarily have to just be in alcohol just because it represented or presented it here. It could be whatever our vice is, you know. Maybe it's food, maybe it's TV, maybe it's whatever it could be, gambling. But because that was another thing that kind of popped out too. It's just like the purified, the filter, and it just seems like that it's more so just kind of like, again, just instead of like having even just like even with the concentrate, it's just like, like how with like I'm just thinking why, I don't know why lemon concentrate popped in my head, but it's like instead of having that like super packed like lemon punch in your face, it's like maybe let's try to just like water that down a little bit, and just something where it's just like, almost like a slow and steady type of win the race here, Cat. But let's get some tarot on this, get some more details. You're in a very interesting energy right now, Capricorn. You will be for the next 3 years with Saturn being in Pisces. You're going to be a very kind of spiritual type of energy, very intuitive. So this is a great energy for you as well. Just even thinking of that in general. Just if we have some stuff that we've noticed that maybe, let's say maybe we've been wanting to make more time to just like move the body, or maybe even, making more time to like meditate, or I don't know, even like maybe even like this could even be like eating, and listen, this isn't health advice or anything, Capricorn, but even like maybe eating some more like home cooked meals and things along those lines, instead of maybe doing like fast food or something along those lines. I feel like that could definitely help you kind of maybe even just kind of clear this bog up, because it seems like just like we're, well, it seems like that with just how maybe heavy the workload is right now, or just maybe with just how much is going down, it's just like we can deal with so much, that we do forget to check in with ourselves just because we're trying to take on the world here. But let's get interesting. Let's get your cards. Oh, there you are, Cap. Look at you coming through in a strong way here, making a statement, because you got the Devil, the Ten of Cups, and then the Seven of Swords upright here, and then you got the Ace of Swords in reverse. And there's something here with this Ace of Swords. I feel like there's this idea of maybe needing to, it's like in the effort to maybe get to this, to like your happiness or something along those lines, it feels like that there's this energy of just like, it almost feels like that the more we work towards the happiness, it almost feels like that it almost feels like maybe either for some it's just like, it's like, it almost feels like that every time we go towards it, it's like something gets taken away or something along those lines. That's interesting, Capricorn. I think I'm going to get a little bit more on that. But even a little bit more than that, I feel that, before I jump into that, it's like, it feels like maybe for some others, there's this sense of just like, because we're maybe trying to fit so much into such a maybe like a small time frame. Let's say you're like I was saying, we're tackling like, we're starting a new family, starting a school, starting a, I don't know, job or something along those lines. It's just like, I feel like that where we're getting enough of, it's like we're getting just like the experience, but there's like things that we're missing here, like that we may be leaving behind, or that's just, very interesting, Capricorn. But let me get a little bit more on the Seven of Swords before I figure out how you kind of fit into the mix here. Because, yeah, that's interesting. It almost, or it almost feels like that we feel that with the Seven of Swords, it's like, yeah, like the time is being taken away from us, or like we're, okay, let me see what you got here, Cap. So you got the Five of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles upright here, and then you have the King of Cups in reverse. And it just, that's what it sort of feels like, that there's this, that we were trying to get into this place of trying to find this balance, in the sense of just like almost like trying to keep that motivation. It's like we're trying to keep 10 of Cups in mind, like, okay, you know, if we put in this work, keep doing this stuff, you know, keep investing in this thing, we're going to get through this. But it's like the second that there are conflicts, you know, and challenges that come through here, then I don't know, it feels like with you being here, the Devil, it's like there's almost something like some type of setback that happens, or something along those lines, where maybe we get in our heads and it feels like that again, we start maybe kind of coming up with these things of just like, you know, like, oh, this isn't worth it, or just like that, every time I seem to do this, that it seems to fail, or that it seems to fizzle out, or that there's always just like this sense of frustration or something like that. Yeah, there's a little bit more on the Devil too here, Capricorn. Let me get a little more on that. Alright, Capricorn. Interesting. Yeah, you get all these aces here. And you got so the Devil's clarified by the Two of Swords, the Two of Swords and the Ace of Wands upright here, and then the Four of Swords in reverse. And there's something on this. I feel like now we're kind of at this place of where it just seems like, Capricorn, that there's something here that is getting in the way of you progressing. You know, especially if we've been and it feels like that part of this is like a some sort of thought process that comes in our head. You know, it's not that we don't want to get to this place of, you know, fulfillment in things, but it just seems like that maybe it's one of those things. It's just like, when is it going to get here? Why is it taking so long? You know, what is in it's I honestly feel like with the Four of Swords, it's just like it's becoming comfortable with that, having. Because here's the thing with like Ten of Cups and stuff like that, Capricorn. I feel like we'll get very close to this journey, but there's so much that we can learn and that we want to learn, that just in this vessel there's not enough time. There really isn't enough time in the day, you know, and but I don't feel like that needs to be a thing of discouragement. You know what I mean? If anything, that just means that while we are on this journey, we are going to have plenty to do. And that's exciting. You know, there's going to be, and they may not always all go our way at first, but we do get to give a chance. You know, if we notice things aren't quite working, we pivot. You know, we adjust, we refine, and things along those lines. And we grow, because that's what the Devil, is all about. You know, the Devil's been kind of popping up quite a bit. And I feel like it's remembering that these situations and things, they're not meant to keep you down. They are really trying to get you to the sense of accomplishment, because when you do start making those strides towards growth, it's exceptional, and it gives you something to celebrate, gives you something to say, like, yeah, I did this, planted all of this here. And then that, I feel like that we can look back at these situations here, because we've been in Devil situations before, different challenges and things, Capricorn, and you come out through in the end. It may have felt like you were restricted in some type of ways with the Five of Wands, Saturn and Leo here, but you grow, you take charge, and you triumph, because you came out here saying, like, bet I'm about to you age like a fine wine there, Capricorn. So I'm with it, Mark. Alright, I hope that made sense. That was a lot coming through there. And look at you, three of a kind with all these aces. And that's what I mean. It's just like sometimes when we get to this place of where we want to give up in things, that's when stuff really starts taking off there. But it's just keeping that drive, knowing in your heart of hearts that this is going to get you to where you want to get to, you know? But I was just telling Libra this. It's one thing I know what it's, you know, when we're in a Devil situation, it's totally different than when we're out of it and can see, you know, that hindsight is 20/20. But, you know, we get better at it each time. That's what the Devil's all about. So let's get another oracle on this. Oh, another one of Taurus's cards here. And I like that too, because when you think about Taurus, Taurus is, they're considered the slowest sign of the zodiac. And that's because I feel like, they when you're thinking about your security, where we're going to invest these seeds, thinking about Ten of Cups, you do want to make sure that you're doing it and stuff that is going to fill up all your cups at the end of the day and just bring you fulfillment. But you have the seventh card of Taurus here, which is the eyeglasses card. And this is a card of assessment, evaluate options, perspective, review, analyze, opinion, judgment, examine, seeing clearly, the fine print, estimate, closer look, focus, awareness, and check the details. And the energy that's coming through is the perspective. It's, the devil gets a bad rap, when you think about it, Capricorn, but life throws us hurdles, and sometimes they take sometimes it's those, and especially where I feel like with the age that we live in, we're in such a very, all about instant gratification, getting those, that immediate stimuli. And it's not to say that we can't invest, but it's just with how accessible everything and how, like, just really, it's it's remembering that yes, you will, again, you'll get those wins along the way, but it's going to be all of those little wins that's going to accumulate to those big wins. But it's just like it's being mindful of the, where our head's at, because this almost gives me, where I was talking with another sign about like Jupiter energy, and we were saying that, like, where Jupiter, yes, is very abundant, but the thing is, he doesn't discriminate as far as what he's being abundant with. If we're in a lower vibration, then that's what we're going to get an abundance of, lower vibrations, until you get sick of it, until you want to get out of that energy. And listen, this is not the judgment free zone. This is not to say that we're creating this stuff just because we want to be. It's just that sometimes that's where the mind goes. It's just like it's finding a way to work with this energy, not to attach, to observe these feelings. I was actually talking with a Capricorn about this, to observe the feelings that come up with this, with these challenges in life, and feel them, and then understand them logically, and then let them go. Because the King of Cups, he's thrown on an ocean. If he were to be attached to every single thing that goes down in the ocean, he'd never come up for air. He constantly would be just drowning. And it just feels that the assessment is kind of coming through in a sense of just like, when we take a moment and we think about that, like maybe that things have been, maybe just, like, I don't know, like it feels like that maybe we've been kind of eating it, or just like haven't been able to get ahead. It's taking a moment and just kind of looking around and practicing, and not to say that you're not already grateful, Capricorn, but making more of a point to practice gratitude, where, let's say, for example, we may not be living in our ideal place, for example, at least we have a place that we're living in, and that gives us motivation. What does that place look like? That gives us a chance to maybe even make like a vision board or something, to get like a game plan for that. Okay, what steps do I need to take to get to this energy? What do I need to learn? And what do I maybe need to cut out? It gets us asking those questions. You know what I mean, Capricorn? But let's get some tarot on this. Alright, Cab. Oh, yeah, a nice little stack of all those. Oh, alright. Oh, alright. I'm with this, Cab. This is a wise little pocket here. And I like that, because that's your ruler in Pisces. So you have the Death card, the Star, a lot of Star card in reverse here too. The Death card, the Star, and the King of Swords in reverse. And then we have the Eight of Cups, the Tower, and then the Knight of Wands upright here. And for some, Saturn is in Pisces. That's what this card is here. The Eight of Cups. Your ruler is asking a lot of you. He's asking a lot of all of us. But when I feel like, when your ruler is in a specific sign, this is really where we pay attention. It's harder for, it's I feel like that too when you think about. That's interesting. Now I'm thinking about that Saturn and Pisces, just compared to how your ruler moves, because we're opposite signs. My sun sign's in Cancer, and the moon moves every 2.5 days or so. And so that's why Cancerian energy changes so fast. There's some times where I'm just like, like I want this, like these feelings and stuff to kind of slow down a little bit so we can kind of process this stuff. But on the flip side, it's just like, but then you get to this place where it's like it takes forever and moves like we want. And I know that's a little bit different of a thing to compare, but again, we're looking at from a different perspective here because this could be, it's not just, the devil's not just, again, like your typical drug, sex, alcohol. This could be mentalities that are, it's like we're with your, yes, because you got some big swords that are in reverse here, and it feels like that we understand why things are happening, but it's just like, it's, at the same time, it's just like, why do they need to happen? You know what I mean? That's what the energy almost feels like with this, with the tower going to the star here, because that's them going in order. It's the tower, then the star, and even the devil. You got a lot of lineup going through here. So it's like we get to the vice, we see there's a situation that happens, and yes, something gets missed, and it's. Even with the death card, it's just like there's something's missing where the change is. If we want something different, then there's eyeglasses. There's something we need to get eyes on here. Let me get a little bit more of this Knight of Wands, because hold on, because that's he's the only one that's kind of. Just kind of standing alone here. Let me see what's going on with him. Okay, Cap. Let's see what we got here. Interesting. Okay, so the Knight of Wands is clarified by the Page of Wands and then the Knight of Cups here. And I feel like it's, okay. So with the Knight of Wands being here, I feel like it's when this Knight of Wands Tower combo. It's like when we are in a situation when it feels like that there's like a change that's happening, when it feels like that the world is just kind of on fire, and it just like there's just all this craziness that's happening here. Mars is there to bring you to this state, to see you to not be here, to get caught up in the craziness and in the storm and stuff. It's meant to get you into this place of like, okay, things are changing. What do I do? What do I need to do to adapt? This is what I'm feeling while this is going down here, whether this is anxiety, maybe this is fear, maybe this is whatever this is. And it's just like, and then asking yourself these deeper questions, again, why do I feel these sort of this way? What is that? Maybe doing some journaling here, Capricorn. But there's something that if we stay in that energy of that panic, that state, that fear, and kind of feed that energy, it's just going to perpetuate. It's just going to keep going and going and going, and the devil will kick it with you. Devil will live a lesson, will ride a lesson out and wear it out until it goes from life happening to us to the tower going in reverse and us taking action. Like anticipating, just like, okay. And I hope that makes sense, Capricorn. But I do feel that there is a sense of wisdom that can come from this thing, but it's just a matter of how we're perceiving some of these situations. And if we're just noticing just like a common trend where we feel like maybe stuck in like a same old type of situation, again, just observing, what emotions are going down and just paying attention to where we might be, I don't know, not necessarily feeding into this energy, but just like, where it's just, I'm not sure, Capricorn, it feels like just like things keep happening. All right. Very interesting here, but I feel like this is one that can lead to a lot of growth. This could be one of those sort of like, like an aha moment or like an epiphany. It's like it's one of those things that once we get on the other end of it, it's all going to make sense, you know, at the towards the end. And I know how that sounds, but it's life, and we you know, eventually you kind of like in this again. This is not dismissing problems or anything, but then you kind of get to learn to appreciate a little bit more each time. You know, the lessons get yeah, they're interesting, Capricorn. But let's get your last card here. Oh, I'm with it. Okay, growth, Sagittarius energy. I love it because you got the second card of Sagittarius, which is the dice card. And with this is a card of gamble, taking a risk, luck, playing games. Chances are, roll with it. Random results, win lose, uncertain outcome, playing the game, potential, fate, and what happens next. And energy that's popping through here is fate there, Capricorn. Fate and like the what happens next, the uncertain outcome. It just it feels like that there's something where this idea of and I do get it's like it seems like that when things happen we get into this state of why is it happening, and that it's that why that I feel like that we may get kind of caught up in, you know, and it's just that we can't seem to quite move past that standpoint. Because even just looking at because you got some very wise kings in reverse here, you know, the King of Swords being intellectual wisdom, the King of Cups being emotional wisdom, and yeah, there's something here, Capricorn, that I feel is because even just thinking about this, because you got the 8, 9, and 10 of Cups, so it's like we're working towards this fulfillment, but it's just like I feel like we're getting stuck here, and then how that energy is. It's very interesting what's happening here, but it can kind of feel like that things are out of control sometimes, and I feel like that it comes to the state of where sure, you know, it's where we may not be able to control some situations that do happen to us. We can control how we feel about them and feel and control how we process this stuff. But it is feeling that stuff, Capricorn, because even thinking since you almost got 4 of a kind here, the only one we're missing is the Ace of Cups, and that's, you know, tapping into that feelings aspect here. It's like I feel like we get it on a base level here, but it's just like there's just like one more piece of the puzzle that's missing to get you to where we can make peace with this, with the flow of the universe, and kind of go with this like a really big kind of unlocking here, Capricorn. That's fascinating. Let's get some tarot on that. And again, you are in a time of spiritual growth and reflection and heightened compassion, and be kind to yourself, you know, as you're going through this growth, Capricorn, because you are exactly, look at that, about to start some new stuff here. We got Uranus energy, things are changing. I'm with it. Let's see what else we got. I lost a little bit. And then we got that's sick, Capricorn. That's sick, and that's a great feeling there, because you got the 9 of Wands in reverse here, but you got the Fool, and then you got the World. You're a ruler. Let's switch back over. I just got chills thinking about that, Capricorn, because your ruler's always got your back, even in and however we connect to higher self. Like really, I'm just kidding, because I love that, because after the World is the Fool, you know, and it's just like that to me. It's just like, it's been tough, you know, don't get me wrong, you know, I'm not diminishing your journey for a second, but there is an energy here that it's Saturn asks a lot of you because he knows that you can handle it, you know, and he knows what you're going to become at the end of this. He knows you at your highest vibration. Look out, you know, that's wisdom. I mean, really, at its finest. That's a level of compassion and understanding that you don't. I say this all the time to you, Capricorn. You don't become the achievers of the zodiac by chance, you know. And I was actually reading something very very interesting about Capricorn that I really liked. It was talking about how you being the sea goat, you know, in Western astrology, and that fishtail, that's, you know, it's that intuitive side of you, that it's that trickiness, you know, because where mountain goats normally they can scale the mountain easy, you know, they, you see some, you've seen the memes where they got like the goats hanging like sideways from a mountain, impossible stuff that they can achieve, Capricorn. So you already can climb mountains, so now it's like you take away your legs and, you know, put on this fin, and it's just like, that's like you taking that dreams, and now you're almost adding on like a Pisces flavor, where it's just like you're like you're in your Saturn and Pisces right now, where it's like you're a perfect blend of this. It's like this amphibious energy where you can take, you know, that spiritual aspect of, because Saturn, you know, it's, I don't know here, Capricorn is something brilliant, is what I'm trying to get out, try to get out at you here, but you can really make your dreams come true. You know, when you set your mind to it and have that focus, that concentration, there's not anything that you can't do. I feel for you, over all the signs, where there is a will, there is always a way. For, and whatever this is looking like for you, you know, whether you're starting a business, doing some healing, whatever, you know, literally just name it, and then sit with it and get a game plan with it. Make some, because I mean, you're the cardinal Earth sign. You know, you're moving mountains. You're making mountains. You know, it's, so just something, because this is, I like that. That was a real powerful little ending there, Cap. So I think I'm gonna leave that there. So if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up and share this, because the energy is potent, and it's just going to keep going. And you know what, Mars is, speaking of Mars, Mars is about to enter Virgo here soon, and that's about to get you lit here, Cap. That's going to get you to work. You know, Virgo, that's very efficient energy, and that's, you want to start getting some dreams and stuff in motion. Mars and Virgo, that's the energy to do it. So work with that, Capricorn, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell button, you get notified when all these videos each week. And I'm on this meditation app, Insight Timer, maybe something to check out. And I created a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration, and it's just a group to post like positive affirmations, encouraging messages, things along those lines. And I'll tell you what I'm thinking about in a second. But as the group grows, I'm going to start posting different guided meditations and binaural beats, healing music, you know, maybe a overcoming with the devil or a healing with the star, and definitely check that out. And what I'm kind of looking at here, Capricorn, is that you and Aquarius share Saturn as a ruler, and Uranus is the modern ruler of Aquarius, and that the fact that you got, and I usually do you and Aquarius on the same days, because Saturdays are ruled by Saturn, so that's hence why I released do your two on that day. But it's very interesting energy. Aquarius deals with the future. It gives me very kind of Knight of Swords, you know, because he's a combination of you and Aquarius, and it's like seeing that future and then making it manifest is what I'm really kind of seeing with this here, Capricorn, in whatever capacity that's looking like for you. But and then last thing, I don't think you got any Cancer cards here, but that's fine. If you got any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rise, you don't even need them. Come on over to my other channel, The Jared and Friends. I do videos there Monday through Friday. We discuss lunar shenanigans. It's a good old time. And all the housekeeping down in the description box below. But let me get you some prize cards here so I can get you out of here. Alright, you got the Seven of Wands here. Before I get your Oracle card, Seven of Wands. This is like a card of, it's like knowing that whatever it is that your heart is desiring, you know, that what you're trying to accomplish in life, you know, that as long as you believe that you can achieve it, it will be. You know, but it's just something where I feel like it's that lining up with that energy, really being in that nine, not even just being in the Nine of Cups, where it's just like we're just feeling like feeling that we're believing and knowing it. It's taking that knowing and then figuring out how to put it into action, however big or how small that those steps are. But let's see what you got for your Oracle card here. You look. You got the create card up right here, Capricorn. So You know, this is, oh goodness, this cosmic egg here. This is you. This is, I feel like this is Saturn. Because Saturn, the thing is, Saturn rewards just as abundantly as Jupiter. It's just that he asks for more. He's that where Jupiter just gives. Saturn is just like, I know you can. I know you want this, and I know you can have it. Here are your tools. Make it happen. Show me what you got. You know, that's what Saturn's all about. Create a world. You know, where it seems like he is putting restrictions on us, he's really not. Now that when you really think about it, it's just like this is what you're working with. You know, get innovative. You know, let's see it. You know, because you can. You know, he's giving you fish. He gave you fish legs to climb a mountain with. So you know, we may need to take breaks in between, but it's fine because at the end of it, what the hell comes from that? If not anything, a seagull gets to a top of the mountain. I want to hear about that story in your adventures, and that could be something to talk about your adventures along the way, Capricorn. I bet it's a fascinating tale, and I bet there is one. I'm sure there are trials and tribulations, but I bet there's success and victory, and that gives people that not only keeps you going, Cap, but that inspires others too, because that's what we're getting in a time of inspiration. So have at it. Agent of Aquarius, let's raise the soul tribe's vibration through the roof there. I'm with it. All right, you stay safe out there, Cap. All these dreams and things, and take a risk, calculated risk, but you know, win, lose, there's gonna be growth, and it's all gonna be worth it in the end. Because again, you were the centerpiece here. You made a statement like, Psh, move out the way, and I will get you on the next one. Later.